Good evening, this is Global News Network, and I'm Diane Carter with breaking developments from across the globe. Tonight, authorities are sounding the alarm over an unusual spike in wolf attacks, with incidents reported in rural communities across North America and parts of Eastern Europe. Wildlife experts say the sudden rise in aggressive behavior is unprecedented and deeply troubling. In Montana, a farmer narrowly escaped with his life after being cornered by a pack of wolves on his property, a scenario more reminiscent of folklore than modern reality. Here's what he had to say.
They didn't seem scared of me, or the gun I fired in the air. Usually wolves scatter, but these kept coming. I don't know what's gotten into them.
Similar reports have surfaced from northern Canada, where park rangers describe wolves exhibiting an eerie lack of fear around humans. These wolves, according to witnesses, appear gaunt and agitated, attacking livestock and even venturing into towns. Here's Dr. Evelyn Hart, a wildlife biologist with the University of Alberta, on what might be causing this behavior.
Wolves are naturally elusive predators, so this level of aggression is highly abnormal. It could be linked to a scarcity of food, an environmental trigger, or possibly a disease altering their behavior. We're analyzing samples from affected areas to get to the bottom of this.
Adding to the mystery, some of the affected wolves have displayed symptoms eerily similar to rabies, foaming mouths, erratic movements, but initial tests have come back negative for the virus. Speculation is swirling online, with some suggesting a connection to recent reports of strange illnesses in other species, including birds in France and humans in China. Social media platforms are abuzz with conspiracy theories, tying these incidents to genetic experiments, environmental changes, and even the aforementioned wheat strain, Vitalis 23. But not everyone is jumping to conclusions. Ranger Paul Becker from Yellowstone National Park urges caution.
Wolves are integral to ecosystems, and this could just be a rare natural anomaly. Let's not vilify the species without concrete evidence. That said, people should take precautions, keep livestock secured, and avoid wooded areas at night.
For now, governments in affected regions are issuing advisories, encouraging residents to stay indoors after dusk and report any unusual wildlife sightings. Is this another isolated wildlife event, or part of something much larger unfolding? As always, we'll keep you updated as new details emerge. Coming up after the break, a record-breaking solar storm disrupt global communications this week. We'll bring you expert insights and what you need to know. Stay with us on Global News Network.
Hungry? You'll be glad to find a stash of Nature's Way and Hiker's Heaven meals, with favorites like Trailmaster Beef Jerky and Mountain Scramble Breakfast Pack. These aren't just snacks. They're your lifeline, and if you're lucky enough to come across some Rocky River beverages, crack one open and take a sip of the good old days, because some things are worth holding on to.
Good evening, listeners. This is Global News Network, bringing you the stories that shape our world. I'm James Peterson. Our top story tonight, groundbreaking discovery in agriculture, or so it seems. Scientists at the International Crop Research Institute in Hyderabad, India, have announced the development of a genetically modified wheat strain capable of withstanding extreme weather conditions. This new strain, dubbed Vitalis 23, has been heralded as a potential solution to global food insecurity, particularly as climate change wreaks havoc on traditional farming practices. Here's lead researcher Dr. Arjun Mehta with more details.
The genetic modifications in Vitalis 23 allow it to grow in arid and nutrient-poor soils while resisting common plant diseases. Early trials have shown crop yields increasing by nearly 40% in regions struggling with drought. This could be a game changer for feeding the world's growing population.
Sounds promising, doesn't it? But not everyone is celebrating. Environmental advocacy groups are already raising concerns about the long-term impact of Vitalis 23. Some have criticized the involvement of multinational biotech companies like GenBio Corp, who funded the research and hold patents on the genetic technology. Critics worry this could lead to monopolies on food production and unforeseen ecological consequences.
This isn't about feeding the hungry. It's about profit and control, playing with nature, and we'll all pay the price.
Into the controversy. An anonymous whistleblower from within GenBio Corp has alleged that the wheat strain's development included experiments with bioenhancement, a technique usually associated with military and medical research. Here's what our investigative journalist Sarah Linton uncovered during her deep dive.
While Vitalis 23 was presented as a purely agricultural breakthrough, leaked documents suggest that its development included trials involving the interaction of genetically modified organisms with human immune systems. The goal? To create crops that could potentially boost immunity in populations suffering from malnutrition. However, experts I've spoken with warn that such experiments could have unintended side effects, including unforeseen interactions with existing pathogens.
BioCorp has strongly denied these claims, calling them baseless rumors intended to derail scientific progress. But the speculation has added fuel to a growing conspiracy theory online. Genetically modified organisms, including Vitalis 23, have unforeseen impacts on global health. No direct links have been proven. It's worth noting that some of the regions testing Vitalis 23 are close to areas experiencing unexplained outbreaks of illness. I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions, listeners. Stay tuned for updates as this story develops. Coming up after the break, exclusive interview with an astronaut who's just returned from the International Space Station. Did he see up there that left him speechless? Find out after this short message from our sponsors.
Out on the open road, need to keep your wheels spinning and your back protected? Check out Iron Forge Custom Motorcycles, the name trusted. From the Forge Line Cruiser to the Rebel Steel Jacket, these bikes and accessories are built tough for whatever comes your way. Ready for anything, just like you. Iron Forge Custom Motorcycles are built for rugged terrain, but always ride responsibly. Follow safety guidelines. Limited stock available in certain areas. See store for details.
Keep your ride in top shape with Gearhead Moto. Grizzly chain and gear kits or Survivor Series tires, built to handle anything the road throws at you. Gravel, dust, or the unexpected. Gearhead Moto guarantees quality, but your safety is still your responsibility. Not all parts are available in every region. Prices vary by location.
This is Global News Network, bringing you breaking developments from around the world. Our top story tonight, glimmer of hope, or perhaps more questions, in the ongoing mystery illness gripping southeastern China. Rumours have surfaced of a potential cure for the illness, which has sparked fear with its rabies-like symptoms and isolated outbreaks. Earlier today, Dr. Wei Zhang, head of the Chinese Center for Disease Control and Prevention, held a press conference in Beijing, claiming promising results from a new treatment. Here's what he had to say.
Dedicated researchers have been working tirelessly around the clock. I am pleased to announce that we have developed a treatment that shows significant potential to neutralize the illness in its early stages. Clinical trials are ongoing, but early results are encouraging. We ask for the global community's patience as we continue our work.
Dr. Zhang's announcement was met with a mix of relief and skepticism. He declined to provide specifics on the treatment's ingredients, testing methods, or distribution timeline, citing ongoing trials. While Chinese state media has lauded the announcement as a breakthrough, international health experts remain cautious. Some critics have raised concerns about transparency, pointing out that information about the illness and its origins has been sparse from the start. Here's Dr. Elaine Rogers, an epidemiologist with the World Health Organization, speaking earlier today.
Any potential treatment is welcome news, of course. But it's essential to approach this with a scientific lens. Without peer-reviewed data or international collaboration, it's impossible to confirm the safety or effectiveness of this treatment.
On the streets of Beijing, reactions have been mixed. Some residents are hopeful, eager for any sign of a resolution, while others remain deeply skeptical. Social media platforms have lit up with both cautious optimism and accusations of government propaganda. Meanwhile, the illness continues to baffle health professionals worldwide. Neighbouring countries are ramping up border controls and health screenings, with Japan and South Korea announcing tighter quarantine measures today. As this story develops, we'll keep you informed with the latest updates. Now, the world watches and waits, hoping that the cure is more than just a rumour. Stay tuned to Global News Network for continuing coverage. Coming up next, would this year's record heatwaves signal a permanent climate shift? We'll hear from environmental experts after this break. Stay with us.
There in the wild, you need more than just grit. You need weapons you can trust. With Black Hawk Armaments and Guardian Tactical Solutions, you'll find everything from the Eagle Eye Sniper Rifle to the Defender Tactical Vest. Ready to fight back, gear up, and never be caught off guard. Black Hawk Armaments and Guardian Tactical Solutions firearms are for licensed users only. Always follow local laws. Use with caution, availability subject to change.
Good evening, listeners. Truly strange and unsettling phenomenon is unfolding in France, where flocks of birds have begun displaying aggressive and erratic behavior, attacking people in public spaces. From rural areas in the southwest to major cities like Bordeaux and Lyon, reports of these unusual incidents are spreading rapidly. Witnesses describe swarms of birds swooping down, pecking with unusual ferocity, and in some cases, pursuing individuals even after an attack. Spoke with a victim, Marie Duval from Bordeaux, who recounted her frightening experience.
I was just walking to the market when, all of a sudden, these birds came out of nowhere. The one just flying around. They were attacking me, pecking at my arms and head. I had to run into a shop to get away. It was terrifying.
Local hospitals report a spike in bird-related injuries, and veterinary experts are scrambling for answers. Spoke with Dr. Marie Allard, a leading ornithologist based in Lyon.
Bird behaving aggressively toward humans, especially in large numbers, is extraordinarily rare. We are investigating potential cause, perhaps environmental, toxins, or an unknown viral infection. However, the rabies-like symptoms they exhibit are perplexing, as rabies does not affect birds. We are truly in uncharted territory here.
Adding to the urgency, Jean-Luc Bisset from France's National Agency for Wildlife Health shared his concerns.
What's most troubling is the birds' disregard for their own safety. The attack as though driven by something beyond instinct. It's highly abnormal, and we are coordinating with wildlife health organizations to uncover the cause.
Social media is ablaze with videos of the attacks, posted under hashtags like #birdattack and #strangeillness, capturing public fascination and fear. While some online users joke about the bird apocalypse, many are genuinely alarmed. Speculation is also growing about a possible link to recent rabies-like illnesses in humans reported in China, though no concrete evidence connects the two. French health officials have issued warnings, advising people to avoid interactions with wild birds and report unusual behavior immediately. Meanwhile, scientists across the globe are closely watching the situation. Dr. Ollard noted,
"This is not just a local issue. If the cause turns out to be viral, there's a risk it could spread beyond France. For now, public vigilance is crucial."
Stay tuned for updates on this developing story. In the meantime, keep safe, avoid large groups of birds, and remain vigilant.
You out of food? Keep your strength up with Nature's Way foods and Hiker's Heaven meals. From the Trailmaster beef, jerky to the Mountain Scramble breakfast pack, these easy-to-prepare meals are perfect for when the going gets tough. Nature's Way foods and Hiker's Heaven meals are best when consumed in moderate quantities. Not recommended for long-term storage in extreme conditions. Always check expiration date.
Thirsty? Rocky River Beverages offers you a taste of the old world with Rocky River Lager and Cascade Soda. Crack one open and savor the memories of a time when things were simpler. Rocky River Beverages are for adult consumers only. Drink responsibly. Limited availability.
Good evening. This is Global News Network, bringing you the latest headlines from around the world. We begin tonight with growing concerns about a strange and troubling pattern of behavior being reported among household pets. Small towns and cities across the globe, veterinarians are reporting a surge in cases of dogs and cats exhibiting aggressive, erratic behavior. Experts are baffled by the sudden onset of what many are calling rabies-like symptoms, though testing has yet to confirm the disease. Wisconsin, a family narrowly escaped a tragic incident when their normally friendly Labrador retriever attacked their young daughter without warning. Fortunately, the girl was unharmed, but the family is left shaken. His family member Karen Morris, speaking earlier today.
Buddy was always so gentle until last night. He just snapped. His eyes, something about them didn't look right. I've never seen him like that. He had to call animal control to take him away, but I just don't understand.
Similar cases are being reported from London to Tokyo, where local authorities are urging pet owners to monitor their animals for any unusual behavior. Animal shelters in affected areas are being inundated with calls, and some are even suspending new adoptions until the situation is better understood. Compounding the mystery, wildlife experts are raising alarms over an uptick in aggressive bird attacks. Southern California, a flock of crows reportedly swarmed a farmer, leaving him with minor injuries. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, authorities have issued warnings after several joggers were attacked by seagulls near a coastal park. Here's Dr. Alan Chen, a veterinary scientist with the World Animal Health Organization.
These behaviors are highly unusual and deeply concerning. While rabies is always a possibility, the spread and scope of these incidents suggest there may be another factor at play, possibly environmental or even a new pathogen we haven't identified. Yet, our team is working tirelessly to analyze samples and determine the cause.
As reports continue to pour in, social media has been flooded with alarming videos of pets and wildlife behaving strangely. However, many experts are cautioning against panic, reminding the public that sensationalism can sometimes overshadow facts. In the meantime, authorities recommend keeping pets indoors, avoiding direct contact with unfamiliar animals, and reporting any unusual behavior to local animal control agencies. As we monitor these unsettling developments, stay tuned for updates. Coming up after the break, it's behind the record high number of meteor showers lighting up the night sky this week. We'll have the answers for you here on Global News Network. Stay with us.
Power up with Zenith Solar Solutions and Gentech Electronics. Keep your devices running with SunCharge battery packs or the Trailfinder GPS from Gentech. Don't let the dark days leave you in the dark. Stay charged, stay connected. Zenith Solar Solutions products are designed for emergency and sustainable use. Battery life may vary depending on conditions. Gentech Electronics not responsible for signal interference or power failures.
When things go wrong, you need quick relief. That's where Vital Core Pharmaceuticals and BioShield Medical come in. From Quick Heal antiseptic cream to BioGuard masks, these medical supplies are here when you need them most. Vital Core Pharmaceuticals and BioShield medical products should only be used as directed. Keep out of reach of children. Always consult a professional for serious medical conditions.
This is Global News Network, and I'm James Peterson, bringing you breaking news from across the globe. Our top story tonight, alarming reports of a mysterious illness affecting people in multiple countries. Health officials are on high alert after patients displaying unusual rabies-like symptoms began showing up in hospitals over the last 48 hours. Here's what we know so far. The illness appears to begin with flu-like symptoms, including fever, muscle aches, and confusion. However, within hours, many patients become highly agitated, aggressive, and, in some cases, violent. A rural village in India, a man attacked several bystanders at a market before collapsing. Witnesses described him as incoherent and acting like an animal. Here's local resident Priya Patel, who was present at the scene.
Was foaming at the mouth, his eyes. It was like he wasn't there anymore. Beat a shopkeeper on the arm, and we had to hold him down until the police came. It was terrifying. No one's ever seen anything like this.
Cases have been reported in parts of Brazil, South Korea, and the United States. In Chicago, Illinois, paramedics responding to what they believed was a routine seizure call were forced to restrain a man after he became aggressive and tried to bite them. Dr. Rachel Owens from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention held a press conference earlier today to address the situation.
At this point, we are actively investigating these cases and working with international partners to determine if there is a common cause. While the symptoms are similar to rabies, early tests suggest it is not the same virus. We urge the public to remain calm and take precautions, such as avoiding contact with individuals showing unusual symptoms and practicing good hygiene.
Despite reassurances, rumors are spreading online about a connection between these human cases and the recent surge in aggressive animal behavior. Videos circulating on social media claim to show individuals collapsing in public or lashing out at bystanders. Authorities are emphasizing that these incidents are isolated for now and urge people not to draw conclusions prematurely. Still, the lack of clear answers is raising fears that this could be the start of something much larger. We'll continue to follow this developing story as new information becomes available. After the break, is your drinking water as safe as you think? New report from environmental watchdogs may surprise you. Stay tuned to Global News Network.
Thirsty? Rocky River Beverages offers you a taste of the old world with Rocky River Lager and Cascade Soda. Crack one open and savor the memories of a time when things were simpler. Rocky River Beverages are for adult consumers only. Drink responsibly. Limited availability.
Power up with Zenith Solar Solutions and Gentech Electronics. Keep your devices running with SunCharge battery packs or the Trailfinder GPS from Gentech. Don't let the dark days leave you in the dark. Stay charged, stay connected. Zenith Solar Solutions products are designed for emergency and sustainable use. Battery life may vary depending on conditions. Gentech Electronics not responsible for signal interference or power failures.
This is Global News Network. James Peterson, with breaking news that is unfolding as we speak, was initially believed to be a riot in the city of Dallas, Texas, has taken a terrifying turn. Reports from eyewitnesses and emergency responders describe chaotic scenes of violence erupting in the downtown area, with people attacking one another in what some are calling an unprovoked frenzy. At least 3 blocks have been cordoned off by police, and the National Guard has been put on standby as the situation escalates. Here's a live report from our correspondent, Maria Lopez, who is on the ground in Dallas. Maria, what's happening there?
James, it's absolute pandemonium here. I'm standing on the corner of Main and Elm Streets, where police have set up barricades to try and contain the violence. I've spoken to several witnesses who describe people, seemingly at random, becoming erratic, attacking bystanders, and, in some cases, even biting them. Paramedics who arrived to treat the injured have reportedly come under attack themselves. Authorities are urging everyone in the area to stay indoors and lock their doors. As I speak, I can see police in riot gear pushing back a crowd. There are reports of injuries, possibly fatalities, but details are still unclear. Back to you, James.
Thank you, Maria. An emergency press briefing just moments ago. Chief of Police Randall Morgan addressed the situation. But even he admitted that the nature of this violence is unlike anything the department has dealt with before. Here's a brief excerpt from that statement.
We're dealing with something very unusual tonight. I want to stress that this is not a riot in the traditional sense. These individuals are acting in ways that defy explanation. We are doing everything in our power to contain this and protect the public. But I urge everyone in Dallas to stay home and stay safe until further notice.
Verified videos circulating online appear to show people collapsing in the streets before suddenly springing to life, attacking anyone nearby. Some describe the scenes as something out of a horror movie. Speculation is rampant about a possible link to the recent mysterious illness that has been making headlines worldwide. While authorities have not confirmed a connection, many are drawing their own conclusions, and panic is spreading fast. We'll continue to bring you updates as this story develops. Stay with Global News Network for real-time coverage of this unprecedented event. After the break, how prepared are hospitals for large-scale emergencies? Closer look at our healthcare system under pressure.
When things go wrong, you need quick relief. That's where VitalCore Pharmaceuticals and BioShield Medical come in. From Quick Heal antiseptic cream to BioGuard masks, These medical supplies are here when you need them most. Vital Core Pharmaceuticals and BioShield medical products should only be used as directed. Keep out of reach of children. Always consult a professional for serious medical conditions.
Hungry? You'll be glad to find a stash of Nature's Way and Hiker's Heaven meals. Favorites like Trailmaster beef jerky and mountain scramble breakfast pack. These aren't just snacks. They're your lifeline, and if you're lucky enough to come across some Rocky River beverages, crack one open and take a sip of the good old days, because some things are worth holding on to.
This is James Peterson with Global News Network. Tonight, we bring you breaking updates on what is now being called the most devastating public health crisis of the century. CDC has officially classified the illness responsible for the ongoing chaos as the Solanum virus. However, on the streets and across social media, a different name has taken hold: the Freaker virus. This term, inspired by the erratic, almost inhuman behavior of the infected, reflects the fear and disbelief gripping communities across the country. Doctors and scientists are working around the clock to understand the virus. According to the CDC, it spreads through contact with infected bodily fluids, most commonly bites or scratches. Symptoms include extreme aggression, unresponsiveness to pain, and a horrifying tendency to attack others indiscriminately. Here's CDC Director Dr. Katie Smith, who spoke earlier today.
We understand the public's fear, but I want to emphasize that referring to this illness as the Freaker virus only adds to the stigma and confusion. Solanum virus is a serious pathogen that requires careful containment measures. We urge everyone to remain calm and follow official guidance. This is not the time for panic.
Despite Dr. Smith's assurances, panic seems unavoidable as the outbreak worsens. Hospitals are reporting total system failures, with staff abandoning their posts as the infected breach security measures. Emergency services are stretched thin, and reports are now coming in that even military units are being overrun in some areas. To combat this, the National Emergency Response Organization, or ENIRO, begun establishing safe zones in select locations. These heavily fortified areas are designed to provide shelter for uninfected civilians. General Marcus Allen, the head of NERO, spoke to the nation earlier today.
The term Freaker viruses does not capture the gravity of the situation. This is a public health and security crisis unlike any we've ever faced. Our safe zones are your best chance of survival. Follow evacuation orders carefully and trust that NERO is doing everything possible to protect our nation.
Despite the efforts of NERO, chaos reigns in many cities. Manhattan, what began as an orderly evacuation erupted into violence when terrified crowds overwhelmed barricades. Witness footage shows infected individuals charging through the chaos, attacking indiscriminately. Military units, overwhelmed and outnumbered, were forced to retreat. Social media is awash with unconfirmed reports of safe zones being breached. While officials deny these claims, skepticism is mounting as civilians begin to form armed groups to defend themselves. The term Freaker viruses may have begun as a grim joke, but for many, it now represents a harsh reality, world unraveling faster than anyone could have imagined. Stay with Global News Network as we continue to follow the escalating crisis. Coming up after the break, supplies should you have in an emergency. Experts share tips on staying prepared in these uncertain times.
Out on the open road, need to keep your wheels spinning and your back protected? Check out Iron Forge Custom Motorcycles, the name trusted. From the Forge Line Cruiser to the Rebel Steel Jacket, these bikes and accessories are built tough for whatever comes your way. Ready for anything, just like you. Iron Forge Custom Motorcycles are built for rugged terrain, but always ride responsibly. Follow safety guidelines. Limited stock available in certain areas. See store for details.
This is James Peterson with Global News Network, bringing you the latest updates in a crisis that has thrown the world into chaos. The illness, now widely referred to as the Freaker virus, or officially the Solanum virus, continues its relentless spread, leaving devastation in its wake. A grim revelation: scientists have confirmed that the virus has a staggering 100% infection rate once exposed. Advanced imaging, like CAT scans of infected individuals, shows an eerie result: total brain inactivity in regions responsible for higher cognitive functions. Yet, the infected remain horrifyingly active, driven solely by primal aggression and an insatiable need to attack. Even more disturbing are the virus's age-specific mortality effects. Children under 12 are succumbing to the illness at alarming rates, as their bodies lack the hormonal defenses triggered by puberty. Similarly, adults over 60 are dying in droves, their immune systems unable to withstand the virus's assault at the genetic level. Those between these age ranges, survival is not guaranteed. It only means infection, aggression, and a fate worse than death. Speculation about the virus's origins has reached a fever pitch. Precision of its attack on genetic markers, combined with its unprecedented lethality, has led many to believe that this is no natural virus but a bioengineered weapon. While no evidence has been made public to support these claims, the question lingers: if this is engineered, who or what unleashed it? Eyes have turned once again to China, where officials claimed just days ago to have developed a cure. That promise, however, has been exposed as a devastating falsehood. Leaked footage from Wuhan shows overrun hospitals, burned-out quarantine zones, and millions of infected citizens roaming the streets. When asked about the cure, the Chinese Health Ministry provided no comment, fueling accusations that the claim was nothing more than a desperate attempt to buy time. Here's Professor Elaine Marston from the International Centre for Disease Control, speaking on the implications earlier today.
Public needs to understand the scope of what we are facing. This virus rewrites the human condition at the most fundamental level. If there was a cure, it would have been shared with the global scientific community by now. We are entering uncharted territory, and misinformation will only make matters worse. We need collaboration, not division.
Trust in governments and health organisations erodes. Chaos has become the new normal. Military forces across the globe are buckling under the pressure, with safe zones falling faster than they can be established. Meanwhile, unverified reports of entire towns wiped out by roving hordes of infected are becoming the rule rather than the exception. Despite these grim circumstances, survival remains possible. Experts recommend staying in small, fortified groups, avoiding direct contact with the infected, and preparing for long-term isolation. Stay tuned to Global News Network for continuing coverage. Coming up, is this the end of civilization as we know it? Roundtable discussion with leading historians and sociologists on what humanity might look like after the pandemic.
Keep your ride in top shape with Gearhead Moto. Grizzly chain and gear kits or Survivor Series tires, built to handle anything the road throws at you. Gravel, dust, or the unexpected. Gearhead Moto guarantees quality, but your safety is still your responsibility. Not all parts are available in every region. Prices vary by location.
There in the wild, you need more than just grit. You need weapons you can trust. With Black Hawk Armaments and Guardian Tactical Solutions, you'll find everything from the Eagle Eye sniper rifle to the Defender tactical vest. Ready to fight back, gear up, and never be caught off guard. Black Hawk Armaments and Guardian Tactical Solutions firearms are for licensed users only. Always follow local laws. Use with caution, availability subject to change.
This is James Peterson with Global News Network. Tonight's broadcast may very well be our last as we face the harsh reality of a collapsing world. Freaker virus, officially known as the Solanum virus, has overwhelmed not only our healthcare systems and governments, but our very sense of normalcy. As of this hour, NERO, the National Emergency Response Organization, has admitted its inability to maintain all safe zones despite their best efforts. Resources are dwindling, and the infected continue to overrun fortified areas faster than reinforcements can arrive. General Marcus Allen, in a statement earlier today, urged those in or near compromised safe zones to prepare to evacuate immediately.
We're doing everything we can, but the situation is fluid and dangerous. If you're in a safe zone and hear evacuation orders, follow them immediately. Stay alert and stick to the evacuation routes. NERO remains committed to saving as many lives as possible, but we cannot hold all lines.
CDC has also issued an unprecedented and urgent directive. All civilians are advised to leave large cities if they can. The infrastructure collapsing and the infected swarming in massive numbers, urban centres are no longer considered survivable. Dr. Rachel Owens from the CDC pleaded with the public earlier today.
This is not a time for hesitation. If you have the means to leave a major city, do so now. Virus is spreading faster than containment measures can handle, and we cannot guarantee your safety in densely populated areas. Follow the guidelines we've distributed and avoid contact with anyone who shows signs of infection.
For many, these directives come too late. Highways leading out of cities are gridlocked, and panic is spreading faster than the virus itself. Ports are flooding in from across the nation of desperate civilians, turning on each other, competing for dwindling supplies. Here in the newsroom, we faced our own challenges. Many of our team members have left to find their families or seek shelter. Those of us remaining are committed to delivering the news as long as possible, but we've been advised to evacuate within the hour. We've also received reports that communication networks are failing in several regions, and power outages are becoming widespread. Many listening, this broadcast may be one of the last voices you hear. NERO safe zones, while limited, remain your best chance for survival. Check your local emergency broadcasts for locations, and prepare to move quickly. Avoid highways where possible, and stick to back roads. The infected are relentless and attracted to noise, so silence and caution are your greatest allies. From all of us here at Global News Network, we want to thank you for trusting us to keep you informed. Stay strong, stay safe. May we all find shelter in this storm. This is James Peterson, signing off.